Finally, Chelsea have finally made a move in the transfer market. We are the last Premier League team to open our doors and welcome in some new blood for the new season. Our recruitment drive is underway and I am over the moon. This is exactly what we need. This is fantastic, brilliant, wonderful, joyous news for Chelsea. Raheem Sterling has agreed personal terms with the club. This is exactly what we need. If you look on this channel, about a week or so ago, I did a video exploring whether Chelsea should sign Raheem Sterling or not, or whether it was a good move for the club and whether it was a good move for the individual. And I concluded that it is exactly what Chelsea need. This is a move that elevates Chelsea and actually changes the entire perception of my club going into the new season. I think that this is a statement signing. This is exactly what we should be doing. This signing completely revitalises Chelsea's attack. It changes the entire shape of our attack and actually could be a big enough signing to change the entire trajectory of our season. Raheem Sterling is a class act. Not being good enough to play for Man City is neither here nor there. It is not his fault that he isn't good enough to play for them. They are a state-backed club. They are an amazing team. They are one of the best football teams ever assembled, and Pep Guardiola is an amazing manager. So not getting into that team, there is no shame in that. You know, the arrival of Alvarez, the arrival of Erling Haaland, the arrival last year of Grealish, the form of the likes of Mahrez and Foden and whoever else, yeah, it hasn't worked out for him there, I guess. But he has been there for 7 years and has been pivotal to everything that's happened at that club. But I would say that Raheem Sterling is incredibly unlucky. I would say that he is... There are only 4 football teams in the entire universe that Raheem Sterling doesn't improve. 4 clubs in the entire world. And he happened to be playing for one of them. So 4 teams, I would say that he doesn't get in the City team, he doesn't get in the Liverpool team, but I think he would improve Liverpool as a whole. I think he would contribute to Jurgen Klopp's team, but I concede that he probably doesn't start for Liverpool. He wouldn't start for Real Madrid, and for reasons only known to them, he wouldn't start for Paris Saint-Germain. But he probably should. But they are the only teams in the world that he doesn't improve. So the fact that Chelsea, who finished, let's call it 20 points behind the champions Man City, have gone out and signed a player that was so good for City, contributed massively to their season, is a benchmark for how our season will go next year. Raheem Sterling would not have been signing for Chelsea if he wasn't completely impressed and believed in the Chelsea project. He wouldn't be signing for Chelsea if he didn't think that Thomas Tuchel were an excellent manager, and he wouldn't be signing for Chelsea if he didn't think that the Todd Boehly consortium had trophies at their essence. So this is wonderful, wonderful news for Chelsea because Raheem Sterling is a class act. He is a class act. And do you know what he guarantees this Chelsea team? Goals galore. Raheem Sterling is goals personified. Premier League goals personified. And you can say what you want about Erling Haaland, and we could have a conversation about how many goals he'll score next year. And some people are genuinely pushing the theory that he will score in excess of 30, perhaps 40. And maybe that's true. But this is the crucial part of the sentence. Maybe it is not true. Darwin Núñez is going to revitalise a Liverpool front line. He is purpose-built for Premier League football. The way that he can drift out to the left and play in that Thierry Henry channel or play centrally. He is going to score goals galore for Liverpool. Maybe he is. Maybe I think he is. But we don't know. Do you know what you have with Raheem Sterling? You have a guarantee. And that guarantee is goals. In Raheem Sterling's worst season for City, he scored 13 goals. Just to put this in context, Chelsea's top goal scorer over the past 2 seasons, right? I'm doing this off the top of my head, but Chelsea's top goal scorers over the past 2 seasons. 2 seasons ago, it was Jorginho with 8. 8. Jorginho. Last year, it was Mason Mount with 11. So even in Raheem Sterling's worst year, even when Raheem Sterling has a below-par season by his own lofty standards, he is still Chelsea's top goal scorer. So think about how he revitalises that Chelsea attack. Think about the way that he's so gifted and so proven. He may allow Thomas Tuchel to adopt a different philosophy, a different formation even. I actually could see a world where Raheem Sterling plays centrally. He's good enough forward. He has a good enough eye for a goal. He is clinical enough in front of goal to play centrally. Maybe he plays as a false 9, off a front man. if Chelsea were to bring in a front man, think of, let's go into a dream world, Chelsea signed the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Robert Lewandowski, Raheem Sterling operating off a front man like that. Dangerous. That girl is so dangerous. That would be bad. That would be amazing. And if you think about how that levels Chelsea up compared to what we were last year. If Raheem Sterling is playing for Chelsea, it means Timo Werner isn't. Hopefully. If Raheem Sterling is playing, it means Christian Pulisic isn't. If Raheem Sterling is playing, it means Hakim Ziyech isn't. And think about the disparity between Sterling and Pulisic. They aren't comparable footballers. Think about the difference between Sterling and Werner. Werner isn't a Premier League footballer. Raheem Sterling is one of the very best. This is only good news. And factor in that it's going to be cut price. Maybe it shouldn't be. And if you're a City fan, I imagine that you're saying you should demand a tip-top price for Sterling because of his proven qualities. And because you know that Chelsea need him, particularly over and after the Rafinha debacle. So Man City maybe could play hardball here, but I believe that Chelsea are going to get him for a cut price fee because he only has 1 year left on his contract. And therefore this is such a good signing. He's going to buy into the project. Raheem Sterling could have his choice of clubs. There basically isn't, aside from 4 teams, there aren't many clubs that wouldn't be desperate to secure Raheem Sterling's services. So he has his choice of clubs. So the fact that he is playing and choosing Chelsea is a testament to Thomas Tuchel. He has bought in to the project. And that is exactly what we need. In his 7 years at City, he has scored 131 goals. My mouth, my palate is wetting at this. This is exactly what we need. 131 goals in 339 appearances. For the champions. He's a proven winner. He is a guaranteed winner. And this is good news for City in a way. They are going to make their money back. They paid £44 million for him in July of 2015. So he's been a wonderful servant for that club. 4 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup, 3 League Cups. It's a really, really impressive signing for them. But this is exactly what Chelsea need. I am elated with this. And this is exactly what the Bowley era should be about. Signing class acts. Proven class acts. This is the first of many, I hope. We've dithered in the transfer market to a degree, but getting this one over the line now is pivotal, and I am over the moon. Raheem Sterling, Northwest Londoner, we're good people, and he's coming back to London to represent the mighty Blues. I am over the moon with this. This elevates Chelsea. This elevates the standards of Chelsea. It is a statement signing, and the first signing of the Todd Bowley era. Let's hope for more players in the class of Raheem Sterling. This is huge, and it actually changes the entire trajectory of Chelsea's season. It really is that big a signing. This is exactly what we need. Fantastic news. I'm going to be discussing this more on Twitch very soon. The link to my Twitch is in the description below. I'm going to be on there with Elliot Hackney and Adam McCullough playing some poker, discussing some football news imminently. Come and join us over there about 8 o'clock in a bit. So happy, man.